All right. Welcome, everybody, to the regular meeting of the Eureka Springs Parks and Recreation Commission. Today is Tuesday, October the 28th, 2025, and it is 6 o'clock p.m. We will start by roll call. We'll start on this end.
Ruth Mitchell here.
Aaron Borey.
Mark Ingram.
Ruth Gubenhager.
Rod Gray.
Ken Trimble.
Sam Dudley.
And our special guest.
Nikki Boyette.
Welcome, Nikki. Okay. First item then is approval of the agenda. Has everybody reviewed it?
I move to approve the agenda.
Second.
Motion by Ruth, second by Rod. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to 0. Okay, we have approval of the minutes from our previous meeting. You should all have a copy of those or seen them at least before now. That was our quick meeting, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
I move to approve the minutes from the regular meeting of, I forget the date.
September 16th.
Thank you, September 16, 2025.
Second.
I have a question about the record.
Okay.
From what I read, it looked to me that the Fisher Forest with 13 new pollinator trees were going in at Harmon Park.
They're not.
Oh, is that in the minutes?
It was in the minutes.
Oh, I must have missed that.
Actually-
It should be Leatherwood.
It should be at
It should be
Leatherwood.
Leatherwood, yeah. So let's make sure we do that with the correction.
Dang.
Thank you.
Ken's
for-
got the eagle eye.
Just trying to do my job.
This is
Hey, I love
under Sam's director's report, right?
I believe so.
That was in the record in the Dropbox that I
Oh,
read.
okay.
Yeah.
So it's not part of the minutes, but,
No, that would be the meeting of September.
okay. So we'll go back and correct it if we, what? I don't know what record.
September 16th?
But it was documented where? Because
in the-
it says, it doesn't say it on there.
In the Dropbox.
Oh, you know, I wonder, did we talk?
Is it on my director's report or on the minutes?
No, it was in the minutes.
It's in the minutes, okay. Okay.
Okay, it's not on these minutes.
No, yeah, it is.
Oh, there it is. So
There it is.
correct from 13 new pollinator trees at Harmon Park to Lake Leatherwood. There we go. Thank you, Ken.
Yeah.
Okay, all those in favor of approval of the minutes based on that change?
Aye.
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 All opposed? Motion passes 5 to 0. Good catch. I'm going to initial this here and just sign that. Okay. All right. Public comments. We have no public, so we will move on. Chairperson's comments. Only thing I can think of right off is, I just mentioned this to Sam, for our next meeting, we want to add on there to establish a committee for fundraising. So we talked about that at our last workshop. I wish I had thought about it ahead of time, but I didn't. But we can do that at the next meeting and you know, maybe just make it effective for the next year, you know, for January,
Okay.
December, an ad hoc committee, and then talk about what that means at that meeting. So we'll put that on the agenda. And that's all I have. And so we'll move on to Sam's director's report.
Yeah, so it's been a little bit of a longer period since we moved this meeting back a week. Sorry, Ken, by the way. At least it wasn't
That was on me.
raining. Or was it raining? It might have been raining. Anyway, it's been a busy, productive month as usual. Had a lot of successful events. a lot of wide-ranging events, everything from the Arkansas Enduro Series, which is I can't believe that it's, we haven't had a meeting since then, essentially, is what I'm saying. It feels like a lifetime ago. But we had the Arkansas Enduro Series host the mountain biking event down there at Lake Leatherwood. They had a really great turnout. Everything went super smooth. Only a couple very minor injuries, nothing crazy. So great event. So big thanks to the Ozark Foundation for putting that on. I think estimated attendance was about 500 or 600 people, about 250 mountain bikers. The tree giveaway, which we did on, I can't remember, last Saturday.
The 19th,
The 19th? Was it?
18.
last week.
Was it last week? My time frame is totally skewed right now. Anyway, that was a great event. We gave them all out, and they were all gone within
15 minutes.
15 minutes. So
Wow.
I guess we need to get more trees next year. Juanita put on down there at Lake Weatherwood, she put on a Fish Whisper fishing derby, which she partnered with the Arkansas Game and Fish for, and had several families come out with the kiddos and, teach them how to fish and give them the supplies, the fishing poles and the bait, and pretty cute. We had the fall soccer jamboree, which, was, I'm assuming I wasn't in town for it, but I'm assuming as usual, just lots and lots of people, and yeah, which is always great to see. And then the day before the jamboree, we actually had a endurance trail running race that started at Lake Leatherwood called Outback in the Ozarks. I'm not sure if y'all saw a bunch of people running through town that day, but they're doing some insane 250-mile trail running event, which I don't know about people like that. That just seems, it's a lot. But yeah. And it seemed to go very well. And Jason Thomas, the guy who actually we were in communication with about it, wants to set up another event in April in which they'll bring several hundred trail runners, and they want to do it all based out of Lake Weatherwood. So it'll be down there at the group campsite probably, and then they'll go do, it's something stupid like 180 miles of running or something over 3 days. So I'm not judging.
I suggest we get our liability waivers.
Yes, I think they should.
They start
definitely
running
get
down
those.
the downhills.
Yeah, we'll work on that. And then upcoming events, as Ken was talking about with the minutes, the Fisher Forest Festival is coming up this Saturday from 12 to 2 p.m., November 1st. It is at Lake Weatherwood City Park, right near the playground. We'll have music by Tim Wilson. We'll have snacks from Jane Tucker. We'll have coffee from Just Bee. Belin's bringing some coffee down. Arkansas Forestry Department will be there. The Pollinator Partnership will be there. Not that you care, but I'll be there. And Chris Fisher's family, many of them will be there to speak about Chris. And then, wanted to say today, too, at the meeting, I don't know who I'm looking at, but if anyone wants to come down and, say a few words, any stories about Chris or anything like that, memories, after the family's done talking, we'll kind of do like an open mic thing. So obviously we can't go on too long, but if anyone's interested, share a short story. And then tomorrow morning, I'm going to get up and drive to Little Rock for the Bathhouse Grant presentation down in Little Rock. So wish me luck. And then in other news, Basin Park, I did ask to make sure it was okay that I mentioned this. Well, first of all, we're getting, some of the final projects wrapped up from the last bit of funding that we got from 2025, but we've been in talks with the Banks Family Foundation again about next year, and it looks like they're looking to give us about $50,000 for more Basin Park renovations for next year. So it's not set in stone yet, but we are in the process. So should be pretty cool. And that's it. Thank you, Chat GPT, for helping me with my trip report.
All right.
Credit where credit's due.
Exactly.
I don't think we have any committee reports. This is on the Finance Committee, and we're caught up on all of our reconciliations, and all that's good, so nothing too exciting about that. No old business, so we'll go on to new business and start with our Q3 budget review. I think Sam put together something everybody has in their packet here. I think this is very preliminary, right? I'll let him talk about that, right?
What do you mean?
The Q3 budget thing.
Oh, yeah, I mean, it's just, that's what we do every,
So this is our actual Q3.
this is, yeah, July, August, September finances.
Okay.
So,
This is our financials, not our budget review. Okay,
sorry, yes, I'm sorry, yeah.
I got it.
I should have put finances, not budget.
Yeah.
So-
Okay. So this is our Q3 financials. That goes to the city.
And this is hence why Nikki Boyette, if you guys don't know, you guys all know Nikki.
Yeah.
He was kind enough to come in tonight since we're doing quarterly budget stuff. He was nice enough to come in just in case there were any questions. I remember the last time we did this, there was a couple questions that I didn't really have a great answer for, so I figured if I brought in the big guns, he might be able to answer them more clearly for me, for us. And the first one I put on was the actual, just the third quarter, July, August, September. That's typically what I turn in to Ida at City Hall for the council approval. And then you'll see attached to that as well, behind that is a year-to-date, so January 1st till September 30th.
Okay.
It was, I mean, if you want to just cut to the chase and go to that last number, which is the most important one, you will see that in the third quarter, we profited nearly $65,000, so it's a really good quarter for us. It's amazing what happens when you stop spending all that money on Basin Park.
Amazing. Did you print one out that would be specifically what we turn into the city?
Yeah, I mean, this one would be it. I mean, the one you have, the first one, July through September. There's no notes or anything. It's pretty basic, so.
Yeah, I don't know that we need to give them our budget and percent of annual budget columns, though. That's what I'm.
I mean, we don't have to, but
Yeah, I think it's just what the quarter, because it's really just what the quarter, I guess it doesn't hurt, but it's just,
it's sort of nice to have a frame of reference for,
for their purposes, though, I think they just need to actually have the quarter P&L. And maybe you got a Q3 year-to-date in the back. Do you turn in that one too, or just that quarter?
usually I'll send it in anyway. I don't know if they actually do anything with it, but just in case they need it, I send them the year-to-date as well. So,
Because I just, for me personally, I just think that when you go into the budget and the percent of budget, it sort of begs questions that aren't even reasonable questions. For example, when I first looked at it, I went, 61,000, our budget's 220. But I had to go, oh, well, the budget's for the year, that amount is for the quarter. So even if we just had percent of annual budget versus the whole, to me, if just the random person looking at it is not necessarily going to understand it if they don't understand financials. I do, but does that make sense? I'm just saying, when we send it out to other people.
I think you used to work in the finance world, and you're being nitpicky.
I did.
I know that makes sense, because there's less numbers. They got a lot to look at besides ours.
Right.
You can make it more
Might throw them off.
streamlined for them.
I guess for me, like, they probably don't know, like, it's important for them to know, like, what, it's kind of like, okay, I could tell them we made X amount of dollars from this, or we spent X amount of dollars, but if they don't know what our entire budget is, it's sort of irrelevant, or they don't have any context for if that's high or low, or, I mean, we're basically just trying to show them, like, did we do well in this department? Did we not?
Yeah.
Or, you know. So that's why I include those things in there. Like, for example, 620, you'll see, look at all those dang donations. Whoop, whoop. That's when you're supposed to clap and say, good job, Sam.
Good job, Sam.
Good job.
Donations.
All those donations you
sponsorship?
brought in.
620.
Yeah, for the quarter. All right. They included in that donation thing, does the value of that truck we got donated included in that?
No, and we don't, no, it's not. Yeah, I still need to, I think tomorrow they're going to get the title all
Oh, so we don't have
registered.
it.
So like, we technically don't even,
It's not titled.
we still don't own it, but
Okay,
it should be taken care of soon.
okay.
You said something, Sam, that I want to add, maybe Mark would know this too, I don't know. When you said they want to know if we've been good at keeping to it, do they really care until the end? I don't know. City Council is voting on our numbers to approve that we're correct, right?
Yeah,
Are they-
I mean, I think we just all have a reporting requirement that we're doing our financials, and we're quarterly doing our P&Ls, and I guess, I don't know to the extent that they review them until the end of the year.
Okay.
You know, I think that's kind of what you're asking, is probably at the end of the year, they're going to look at the total amount. But, I mean, quarterly, we do have a requirement to turn them in.
Present them in, yeah.
So, I mean, I think they'll probably glance at them and just go, oh, cool. And, you know, for now. And then I think at the end of the year, they'll probably look at them in a little more detail. I'm assuming that maybe Michael will look at them a little closer for
That's what I was wondering. That makes
the
sense.
mayor, you know.
Okay.
But yeah, standalone, they don't mean a whole lot. I mean, in the sense of, well, I guess, actually standalone, the quarter itself means more than all of this other stuff next to it. Because when you look at it, this is exactly what we took in and what we spent in that 3-month period, just that 3-month period. So that tells me more than if I'm comparing it over here to the other numbers.
Yeah.
But I mean, I like looking at a quarter and going, yay, we're in the black, you know?
We're in the green.
we like
Green.
feeling the green. So I feel like in the past, we probably just sent them column 1. It made it pretty simple.
I mean, I've always turned them in, like, I'm not trying to argue, I'm just saying, I have always turned them in this manner, and no one's ever
Right.
said anything, so.
All right. Does anybody have any questions about them? About and let's focus first on just the quarter 3. Then Sam can talk to us a little bit about because he's got a full, the first 3 quarters on the last 2 pages.
I have one question on Q3.
Yeah.
On line item 645, with sales from Square, it seemed that we basically did 50% of the year in Q3 compared to budget. Can we account any specific thing or events to that? And the reason for the question is it something new that we've done or differently that we can replicate in other quarters since that number is so
Yeah.
high?
Boat
Or is it
rentals.
just the fact that the 2025 budget was divided among 4 quarters and
Yeah.
it's top heavy for Q3, but in reality, it's just the way our normal seasonality happens?
I think it probably has more to do with the latter, just it's
Okay.
July is a busy month, and we sold a bunch of shirts for a bunch of stuff in general for Jamborica and for the fundraising event we had at Got a Hold, and we sold a bunch of shirts down at the Fat Tire Festival. Not to mention boat rentals are obviously up because it's July.
The weather.
Yeah. So,
So this also includes Jamborica.
yeah, exactly. It's like
So we've
there's
got-
big events. and-
Yeah, several things. That is a good spot, because that's,
I mean, and it was just simply to the point that that answer makes complete sense, and that's what I probably would anticipate. But if there was something out of the ordinary that accounted for it, I would say that should be on our radar to then
Try to hone in on that.
replicate in other quarters, even
Yeah.
if not to that extreme, but to a positive contribution to the
Yeah.
budget.
Yeah. No, I agree. I
Okay.
mean, we got some really cool merchandise down there now. I mean, it's working. I mean, we're making money and the boat rentals are working and, we kind of revamped our snacks and stuff and drink options down there too. It's a lot healthier stuff. And so I think that's kind of helped a little bit. I don't know. I'd have to go through Square and like actually look at specific things that we've sold. But
The biggest change in sales at Leatherwood have been how many shirts we sell. I should have brought that along, but that's enormous. They've done very well with just shirts. We have a lot of them. And also, we made a whole lot more at Jamborica this year than the previous year. And we matched last year month to month, which was a banner year, far beyond what we'd ever experienced. Most of the months leading up to, like, say, August, it started to wane a little bit. So, I mean, just everything they're doing out there
Okay.
is selling well.
I promise I'm not paying him to come in here and say this stuff.
No,
But thank you, Nikki.
it makes sense.
Good to
So
know.
thank you.
Nikki does, he gets he hones in a lot more on like specific things that we're doing as far as what we're selling. This is just lump sum, this includes boat rentals and snacks and drinks and shirts and blah, blah, blah. But Nikki actually will go in and, hone in on those specific things and how well they're doing. So he would know more, and obviously, he's saying this shirts and merchandise. So
That's my job.
yeah.
and one of the main reasons why Sam asked Nikki to come is because last time we talked about these things, there was big questions on that credit card
Right.
fees and vendor fees paid,
Yes.
702 and under overhead.
Okay.
And so we were going to have Nikki just kind of explain what that is.
The category that we now call 702 has two different things in it. When I first started, this chart of accounts was just on and on and on with a lot of things that no one had ever used or hadn't used for a long time. There were duplications. And then when the Miskel-Rulli regime took over, they really cracked it down to pretty much something just like this, okay? And they gave it to me to work with, and I noticed a couple things that were missing, and we incorporated those, and it stayed like that. What the number was, I don't remember, but it was always credit card. Credit card means what we collect from Square, okay? And it's thrown in with the fees that we pay for transactions to Square and Fair Harbor. When the current regime took over, we modified this only a little bit, but this still stayed the same. Those two things are the same. When I do my reports, when I get my information in the morning, I go through what I get from Square, and I don't have anywhere else to separate out those things. It's always been like that. And I think it was a good idea, whoever noticed that, that we can change that. When this is what I do in Square. It has what we make from this stuff down here. And in here, there's credit cards and cash. They give me cash in a deposit envelope. I take that to the bank. That's one of the two deposits we get from every day. The other is the credit cards, okay? That's what I get from Square. This is in the bank, this amount right here, before I get to work, and I get there early, but it's already there. What it shows is this is the total amount of credit card transactions out there at Leatherwood the day before. This is their money. This is their fee. They get that, so this is already in the bank. Curiously enough, those two items are in that same category. Also in there is, this is Fair Harbor, the reservations. Okay, they give us, this is more money. We get a lot more money from Fair Harbor, but they also have a fee, and that's also in that same line, 702. If you want to really pay attention to the differences there so that you can identify, oh, this is what we made from fees, this is what we get from credit card transactions that come through Square, then I suggest the simplest thing is to put another number in there, 703, for example, okay? Keep one for fees and have the other separate out what we get through the Square credit card transactions, simply that and nothing else, and then you'll be able to see. Now, if you want to know, as of this morning, the amount of fees that we have paid this year, $7,369.72, okay? But in that same category, transactions from credit cards, that's money that came to us. Now, it's in a different place in your budget. It always reconciles. But $57,517. So you can see how that would really skew your perception of what we've paid in fees.
Right.
So anyway,
Isn't it more important to take out what we're getting from Fair Harbor and separate that from the credit card?
it is.
Okay.
What we get from, that is nothing but lodging. That goes up here, yes. Now, well, sometimes the reservation will rent a boat, okay? So there's a little bit of that in there, but that's always up here. That's lodging.
Okay.
But that's a good question. I thought of that too.
Okay, I'm going to kind of bring it down to my level of accounting. On any given day, let's say we have $300 in sales, and $100 is cash, so it's in the till, and we have $200 in credit card sales. You're going to get a deposit envelope of $100, and that's going to the bank. Then you got $200 that's coming through Square. They're going to take the $200 less their fee and deposit the difference.
It'll be there when I get there to work in the morning.
So you're recording the $200 as income, the fee part as expense.
But that's not the amount transferred from Square. Those are separated on one of these things. I could go in, I got it in here. But in my QuickBooks entry, there's the amount that was sold, the tax, and then credit card, okay? And then the amount that I get down here is the cash.
Right.
I like the sound effects.
Right.
I mean, for example, let's just say if it's $200, let's say they take $5 out for fees. So we would get $195 deposited into our bank, and then there'd be a report that shows you sold 200, we're taking 5, here's your 195.
Yeah, and so the reason I say that is because if you're showing an expense, you've got to show the income. Mm-hmm. You can't record cash of 195 and then show an expense of 5. Well, I mean, I think in that transaction, it has to add up to the total of sales for that.
That 5 is in the fee category.
At some
That's
point,
fees.
you have a $200 number at the bottom of that. I'm more thinking in QuickBooks. So rather than try to analyze that now, I'll come, because I think we've done it before, and I think I was satisfied with the answer when we did it. So I want to go back and look at that, because my biggest concern is that if we're reporting a certain level of income and then expenses, the income before expenses has to be what's recorded, and the expenses reduce it. If that makes sense. But if you don't, then you're showing the wrong amount of income.
But the income is not $200.
Right, but
Right.
but are we?
But it actually is, if you're going to expense it. Otherwise, don't expense.
Well,
That makes sense.
Is it showing as a gross income, like $200 received in, $5 in fees going out, with a net income of
Yeah, that's
$195?
my point.
Okay, yeah.
So, because to yours, if we're recording it in as $195 in gross, and then we show the $5 in fees, it's now going to $190 in net.
In the net of the books. So I will take it on the finance committee. I'll come down and I'll make sure that that's happening. I'm pretty sure it's correct the way Nikki's got it set up in there, but I want to make sure that we aren't expensing kind of double, if you will. Because if there's not some point in our books that shows 200 in sales, but there is an expense, then we have basically double expensed ourselves.
Well, like Aaron said, gross sales.
Yeah.
200 is the
You got to
gross
have your
sales.
gross sales. If you're only putting net sales in there, then that expense doesn't need to be entered,
Okay.
because we're never getting it anyway.
Well, the
It's never
200
coming
is
to us and we're
entered
not paying
into
it out.
QuickBooks, but that is not the deposit
Right.
that goes to the bank.
And that affects cash. That's a whole different thing. How much we have in cash is one thing, but what our actual financials is a different
Yeah.
thing. So Beth and I will take that on. We'll look at it. We'll have an answer for you for sure by the next budget meeting.
We are happy to announce we reconcile every month.
Yeah, I was gonna say, we know everything's correct because we reconcile it, so we know everything's even. There might be some and you guys will have to come down and look at it, but there might be some
We can
doubling of things or some
I'm not
redundancies.
concerned. I'm not concerned that we have any problem that there's anything that's not reconciling. I mean, I
Yeah,
know
yeah.
that. I see it all
Yeah.
the time myself. It's really what the numbers actually end up reporting to in terms of expense versus. So if you actually changed it, if it wasn't shown correctly, where you would see it is in expenses versus income. You might have a higher income than we're actually showing, or you
Yeah.
might have a lower expense than we're actually showing. We need to make sure that those two things are showing up in QuickBooks when it comes to the actual balance sheets and P&Ls.
And I think
It's not in the counts. I know the counts are right. That's not a concern.
we've talked about. Me and Nikki and Mark before. Just it'd be just nice to have it. If we are going to change something, let's not do it right now, but
Right.
let's,
For
if we
January.
can set it up for 2026,
Yeah.
and then that way we're all on the same page, so.
Well, and with that, I think Ruth was kind of talking about this, but for me, looking at this, that 702, the credit card and vendor fees, personally, again, not being an accounting person, I think it'd be helpful to see that broken down versus the Square credit card fees and the lodging Fair Harbor
Exactly, that's what I was
fees.
talking about.
Because I look at this number and I think, okay, Square is going to charge us, 5% processing fees. So I look at that and go, well, if we paid $28,000 and that was 5% of, I should see an offsetting number of
Yeah.
$300,000
We
in
need to
sales.
know-
I'm not seeing, so that's where the confusion, I think that's what brought up the question last time, was just not a detail, just a somewhat simpler breakdown of saying, hey, for every reservation we got, we paid $100 fee, for example. Easy math. We did $50,000 through Square and 5% there, $2,500 in sales tax. That to me is much clearer to see versus a lumped in number. That's, I
Yeah, we
think.
could just call it reservation fee.
We need to be able to analyze what we're getting for lodging versus what we're getting for T-shirts.
Yes.
Okay.
That's easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
And I
kinda
think
already
that's all the
do.
real question was, because that number, when we looked at it, seemed extremely high, going, how
Our
did we
sales weren't
get
that
to
high,
this?
yeah.
It doesn't, and had guesses at that, but it wasn't clear. So I think that would solve that, for me at least, it
Yeah.
would solve that issue.
I have,
Are those numbers shown in operations, income from operations, basically? To some degree, maybe not.
Yeah,
Exactly.
The lodging money is almost all from Fair Harbor, if that's actually what you're asking. There's sometimes people go to the bait shop and will rent a cabin, a campsite, but that's a small percentage of it. So that's, if you look at the lodging number, that's Fair Harbor. And what was the rest of your question?
The square, I guess the square side of it.
The square is mostly in category 645.
Right.
That's what
Right.
that is. Sometimes we will sell something, but generally that's 645.
I have a quick question too, just to be, so with Square, you mentioned the fees and your daily deposit. You see the fees every day, right?
Yeah. And I
My
recorded
credit card is
on that list.
I don't,
so
I
that
see
you
it once a
guys
month.
know
So that's why I was confused.
whenever-
Every day they
if you
show you,
need
it's
to
nice. Okay. That helps, because I only see mine once a month, so I have to go wait till my monthly thing to see it all.
Yeah, he gets it on everyday Square report.
Nice.
So whatever you guys figure out that makes you happy, the accounting team and I will make sure to
nothing's going to make them happy.
We definitely really need to, I mean, I think to Aaron's point, which is really very valid, if we have credit card fees separate, we should be able to basically go to credit card fees for, and go to, at the end of the year and go, okay, so that should be around 5% of our total income or revenue for that, whatever that stream is. So whether it's bait shop or lodging, it should be 5% of that number. If that does that make sense? They should correlate perfectly.
Right.
I don't know if you can negotiate with the credit card companies or not, but if we had a specific number and we say our sales, we paid 5%, we paid you a lot of money, basically, can we get a lower percentage rate? I don't know, is that possible?
Yeah, I think what happens in this is because we have a contract with Square, Square has a contract with the credit card company, right?
Yes,
We just
Square-
pay Square no matter what,
Yeah, we don't,
and they handle all if there's
Yeah.
fees. So we pay them a fee. It's almost like they are the credit card company, but
Yeah.
even though they're not.
Yeah.
Because that's sort of, what is that percentage?
What's what?
What is the percentage? Do you know the percentage that we pay Square? It's a fee, and included in that is the credit card.
It depends. The fees that they take out depend on if no, wait a minute.
Depends on a lot of things.
No, I'm thinking about Fair Harbor. Their fee is different if it's an online transaction or if our team
Right.
makes the transaction. So I don't remember what the Square thing is.
Okay.
But usually with Square, there's a per transaction fee of, and it's minimal, but it's, 35 cents or 50 cents per transaction. And then there's a percentage of the total dollar amount. So that's what I think Ruth was getting at, where if it was 5%, could that be negotiated? With those, in my experience from my business, no.
No, you cannot. Each credit card company has its own percentage of fees. And like, say, American Express might have a 6% fee, and Visa might have a 2.3% fee. So they're all different. And what I was going to say a while ago is, looking at this, adding a 703 or 709 or 744, I don't think we need to break that down into multiple different categories for the city council. It's hard enough to see and understand everything. I like seeing it under one category, only for giving it to the city council. But for us to sit here and go over each category, I do want to see.
Well, we
break-
really don't have that option. Because once everything comes out of QuickBooks.
Right,
So
right.
when you're ready to hit a button that says run our P&L
Yes.
for this time frame, it doesn't have the option to say, but combine all these up into this, unless you had, let's say 700, and you started creating sub accounts, And one of the things we're trying to get away from is doing too many of those, because that's
Right.
how we ended up the last time with 40 pages of
Right,
stuff.
that's my point.
So we can do probably, because I think they are two different things. There's a credit card fee, which is for people using credit cards. And then there is an actual reservation fee for people using our reservation system,
Well, and
which
the-
are two different things.
And those percentages, I think, are very different.
The percentages are different,
So
and they
that's
should
where
correlate.
It would see, because right now, we can't see if it's a 3.9 square or a 10% Fair Harbor. And I'm throwing out random numbers, but, it's sort of a joint added together average where that's where it's hard for us to see how does that correlate with our retail sales or our reservations. So
Yes,
not
we're-
suggesting breaking it down
Too far.
too far,
Then that would mean
but
we
just
need-
enough.
Then that would mean we would need something under 650, because lodging is there, that's income. So your fee to match 650 needs to fly over here somewhere and say lodging credit card fee, or lodging square
Large-
fee,
yeah. Well, it's not even square.
or however it's
Yeah.
done through fair.
Yeah. Well, okay, now we're getting into budget stuff, and
Right.
let's stay on our financials, because budget's going to come soon. So let's stay on our. It's really, do y'all have any questions specifically about this quarter three numbers?
I did want to, oh, sorry, you looked like you were about to ask something.
I'm sorry.
756, I just wanted to explain the reason why that's a negative expense is because at the last, or can't remember if it was the last one or maybe 2 ones ago, we moved the workshop expense to the general account as opposed to paying it through Leatherwood. So we refunded the Leatherwood account. So for that quarter, it's showing that we actually had like a negative expense. So we actually profited on that account per se, not that Parks profited, but that one account profited for the quarter. So it shows up kind of weird on paper, but
It evens
that
out.
explains it.
By year-end numbers, it evens it
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
Okay, anybody have any other questions?
Thank you, Mickey. Good job.
Yeah, thanks for coming. Aren't they mean? Oh. Finally, someone understands just how mean you guys are.
All right, nobody has any other questions? Does anybody want to?
I told Nikki at the end of this he can head out if he likes. So
Yes.
are we?
later.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nikki.
Thank you, Nikki.
Thank you.
I'll see you tomorrow for a little bit.
Did he get a muffin?
Did
Oh,
you
yeah,
get a
did you
muffin?
get a muffin?
I'm good on the muffins.
All right. Is that your jacket? Sorry, I didn't want to ruin your exit.
Okay, so if nobody has any other questions, do I have a motion?
I move to approve the financials for third quarter.
Second.
Motion from Rod, second from Ruth. All those in favor?
Other way around.
Oh,
Other way around.
oh, Ruth, Rod? Oh, yeah, Ruth, Rod. Motion from Ruth, second from Rod.
Yeah.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 5-0. Okay. And then just for you guys to sort of review, I don't think we need to go over it now, but I think this is good for you to have in your pocket and really go look at it in a little more detail, because this is the full January through September, so it's the full thing from, of course, we'll have the final quarter added in here, but this gives you a better picture of where we really look for the year, for 3 quarters of the year.
And just FYI, the net operating income, the last number, I guess it was in red to indicate that it was minus 158,000. But it's showing up, it just, not that we're turning this into council, but just FYI, there should be a little dash on the side.
That was,
The saddest dash of all time.
and we don't have to ask my
Oops.
question then.
Yes, I see it.
It's kind of a big difference.
Kind of-
And remind me again how far, I know this, I just can't think. The sales tax, when it comes in, we're like a month behind of sales, that we receive, the one.
So
percentage.
what we're,
Not when we,
Tabby down at City Hall said we'll get it probably, I mean, this week, definitely. But the money we receive this week will actually be August sales tax.
thank you. I
So
remember. So it's like,
takes all August, and then September they collect it,
and then.
then October they distribute it, and yeah.
So we'll still have a pretty good check or two.
Yeah, September, I mean, August is always usually a little bit meh, but September, October should be good. And once again, I just like to go over,
It's what?
since March 1st, 2023, once that sales tax hits, we'll be like up $10,000 from when I took over. You're
How
welcome.
did we end up with minus 158 then?
Well, that's just this,
How do those
that's
two
just
things-
that's just this year.
How do those two things correlate?
That's just this year, Mark. Time is an illusion.
So last year we had 188 positive?
Yeah, last year we were like, and the year before that even, we had a big, positive number at the end of the year.
Really, that number is really to budget, right? Like you're talking about.
It's just how for example, you get $75,000 from the Banks Family Foundation at the end of 2024, but then you
Which was
spend it in
included last
2025,
year,
so it's
yeah.
going to show up as a,
Right.
True.
so
we-
things like that.
there should be, and make yourself a note to note that whenever we do our final ones, that is a notation on the bottom of that
Mm-hmm.
page,
Yeah,
because that's important. That it looks like we're 158, but we're actually 75. Is that,
Yeah.
You know what I'm, so, because we really did record that from the previous year.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because we're cash basis accounting, which means we have to record it in the year we get it.
Yeah.
But the reality is we didn't spend it until the next
that's why I
year.
always
Right.
make these.
So-
That's why I always make these comments.
so let's just, it's worthy of putting notations on the bottom
Yeah.
of our financials for us and for turning in, because it's important to remember this next year. Or,
Yeah.
like just having these notes here is kind of handy.
Mm-hmm.
I would just recommend we do that. So rather than us all go with that, I want everybody to kind of take their time when they go home and have a minute and you're bored, go through these numbers and kind of, if you have any questions, let's be prepared to talk about them at our next budget workshop, because we're into budget workshop time, and all of our workshops probably from now to the end of the year are probably going to be about the budget. So I would recommend that let's do that, and don't hesitate. If you don't understand a thing, write your question down and let's be ready to talk about it. That's kind of the best way to kind of go through that. And then I'm going to commit to Beth and I on the Finance Committee really sitting down and really understanding in depth this credit card thing, because I'm a little worried about it, but I feel like I was worried about it 4 years ago, and I went and Nikki convinced me that we were right, so I think we are, but I should be able to explain that to you guys, having looked at it before, and I just can't remember. I'm old, okay.
Well, they don't make it easy. Those companies make it difficult to look at like I can't reconcile my business stuff because the way they list it, and like you said,
Yeah.
the different credit card fees, each credit card charges a different fee, then the processor you're using charges you a blanket fee, then it can change. They make
Yeah.
it difficult to reconcile.
Exactly. My biggest concern with this is making sure that we are recording the income higher if we're going to record the expense. And because if we're not, then our income looks lower than it is.
Yeah, I think you mentioned once, like, okay, we could just, like, do we even really, I guess we do need to account for that, but like, if all we're, let's say we made $200, but they deposited $195,
Just
does
put
it even
195.
matter, like, that we say that we paid them $5, or do you just pop $195 in there and say you did it, and just know that there's a,
Yeah, I think we
that
have
there
to-
is that
I think
fee
we have
set
to-
in there?
I think we have to look at that, but since we're a cash basis thing, we don't receive the cash. or the credit card amount. You know, it doesn't get deposited ever into our account. So it's not like we're actually writing a check and paying them. They're basically deducting this fee.
Yeah, they're doing it. Yeah.
So I think we really do have to look at that closely. And I will do my chat GPT and figure that out. It's been a while.
But there's also the sales tax that we're collecting that needs to be paid to the state.
That's right, and that is
But
included.
that's why it has to be listed as income as the gross expense.
Yeah.
Because that's going to show a double. So
Exactly.
that's where, so not only just recording that 195 and saying, okay, we're good, that's what we collected, we're still paying out.
Because we're
to
collecting,
the
not
state
only
of
that, we're
Arkansas.
collecting sales tax, but we're also collecting CAPC tax.
Yeah.
And all of this stuff is all part of a total tax amount. And those two things should add up. So they should zero out.
Right.
But yes, we need to do that. All right, so that's that. The next item on the agenda, Sam wanted to talk to us. Vehicle sales and acquisitions.
Yeah, I guess I'm not too worried about the acquisition at this point, but, you know, I just wanted to point out that I'm not just trying to sell everything and not replace it. So I think we talked at the last workshop about, like, what's the process for, you know, selling parks vehicles, and I think I need to get y'all's blessing first, and then ultimately comes down, if it's over $5,000, city council is supposed to approve it as well. Some of the trucks will probably not make $5,000 if I'm being honest, but I figure I get y'all's approval to sell these ones, and I'll just explain kind of my plan for what I want to do with them, or what I want to replace them with. I don't know if y'all saw the pictures in Dropbox. I totally forgot to print them, but I put photos of the 3 trucks that we currently own that we want to sell, or that I would like to sell. It's a Ford F-250 utility truck. It's not a bad truck. It's not really something we necessarily need. We probably get good money for it now, so plan would be to sell that. The Dodge, which is just like a miracle that that thing still runs. And then the F-550 dump truck down at Leatherwood, which is also a miracle that it runs. And also a truck that we had donated, or will have donated to us from a friend of my dad's, Steve. You remember Steve Holst? His old painting striper truck that they graciously donated that. I don't think he's going to need it anymore. So once that's in our name, I'm not really sure what that would get, but I'm guessing the F-250 will probably get about 20 is what I'm hoping for, maybe more. The dump truck, I really don't know the dump truck. It's such a weird vehicle, but I'm hoping about 5, and then the Dodge probably 1,500 or so, maybe 1,000. And then Steve's truck probably, that's another hard one to tell, probably 3,000 or 4,000, but I figure I'm just going to get council approval for all of them because I don't know. And then the plan would just be to get truck for myself, or to get Sharon a new truck and I take her truck. I have been operating without a parks vehicle since I've started as director, so I would like a vehicle. And also get Noah something that would, the grounds specialist, I guess. I don't know if I should name names, but get another truck that's capable of pulling machinery around, because we do need something like that for when we do need to haul excavators or pick stuff up, heavy equipment. And then on top of that, if there's some money left over, hopefully we could invest into a dump trailer. I think that'd be much more appropriate for how often we use the dump truck. Instead of having a whole truck, just have a trailer that,
Pull behind any of them.
anyone, I mean, you can't put a bunch of concrete in the back if you're driving around a Maverick, but you essentially most of the vehicles could pull, a load of mulch or something in the bed of a dump trailer. So it essentially turns every truck into a dump truck, depending on how much weight you're trying to put in it. So that'd be the
So
plan.
what you're just looking for us is our approval so you can take it to the city.
Approval for the sale of the, I guess once it's weird with Steve's vehicle, I was thinking it would already be ours by now, but it's taking a while to get the title
Well,
transferred.
why don't we, just for purposes of a motion, let's list out the actual ones, and so somebody can make a motion for these specific ones.
Okay.
So the first one is,
The F-250
what year?
utility truck, 2021.
Okay, and then,
A 2004 Dodge Ram 1500. And then the dump truck is a mystery. I think it's a 2003 Ford F-550 dump truck.
okay, so rather than getting specific, if we don't know for sure what it is, how about let's just say the old F-550, you said?
Yes, the old F-550 dump truck. Yeah.
Okay.
And then, sorry, I should have had all this prepared more. I've been stressing out about the grant. So, and then with Steve's truck, I don't really have much detail on it because it's still not even ours yet. And
Can we just call it the donation truck?
the donation truck, that's
Okay.
great. Okay.
That, I just want it to be more specific in the.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm just getting y'all's blessing at this point, and then city council will want probably more like, the specifics, the VIN numbers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
And how do you propose to sell them?
we use Gov Deals.
You use what deals?
Gov Deals. It's an online
It's
site.
a government
Oh.
website where all different government agencies can put stuff out there.
Yeah, so it's nation. It's like an eBay, but for government auctions. So, yeah, easy.
What is Steve's last name?
Holst, Holst.
Does anybody
I
want?
make a motion that we offer up on Gov Deals the 2021 F-250, the 2004 Dodge 1500, the early 2000 Ford F-550 dump truck, and the donation truck from Steve Holst.
I will second it.
We have a motion from Rod and a second from Ruth Mitchell. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes 5-0. Okay, Sam, and then when you do that and you have that kind of money, then we'll talk again about what we purchase.
Yeah,
Because, I think that should have been a sort of an understanding, I hope it is an understanding amongst everybody, that the purpose to be able to sell those is to actually buy something else that wasn't in the budget, but neither were these sales. So hopefully they'll offset each other and we'll be able to make that happen
Yeah.
this year because, yeah, it is kind of ridiculous that every employee around there has got something to drive and Sam's bebopping around town in his truck. So, yeah. And I love that Sharon says that the Maverick's too fancy for her. She needs something to throw pots and stuff in. She doesn't. It's,
Too fancy.
yeah, it's fancy. I would love to see a flatbed with like little sideboards for her to be able to just throw stuff on. You know what? I've seen like
Yeah.
the smaller
those little like Daihatsu
It'd be a perfect little get
utility
around
trucks.
It would
the
be.
little roads.
That'd be cool.
So
My neighbor has a British lorry that's just like what you're talking about. It's the perfect vehicle.
it's sort of
for
the
it.
same. Yeah, that's,
It's a little bitty thing, and it's got those drop sides on it, and it is amazing.
That would be so great. All right, we did add something to the agenda that,
Oh,
which is the renewal of the shuttle contract.
yeah, and like this is a kind of a weird thing because it's well, we didn't, unfortunately. We approved the agenda as is, so I don't know if we can necessarily go back. But
Well,
I don't really think I need y'all's, like, I don't think we need to necessarily approve it, because
Yeah, I don't think you
in
do.
stipulation 12, it says, that we can renew it upon a performance appraisal, which I met with Nick last Friday. We talked, we went over pros, cons, all that stuff, and
Yeah, I agree. I don't think we have to. Do you?
No.
I don't think we have to.
No, and that information that he just said is in the Dropbox.
It's all part of. It's yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Should have thought of. I know you actually did notify Kim though that it was added to the agenda, didn't you?
no, I was going to do it like during the process of what we're
and we
doing,
didn't.
but
Okay. But I think you're right. I don't think we have to do
okay.
that.
I mean, you
It's
guys have
part of the
seen it.
contract.
You know what the stipulations are. We're just
Yeah.
extending it for another
It's
year.
automatic
So
renewal.
yeah.
Yeah. In case anybody didn't know what we're talking about, the shuttle contract we now have with Nick which, by the way, I don't know if y'all have noticed, but he has done a fantastic job of really keeping stuff out there all the time about when those trails are open, when they're not, how they're riding, how, so 10 times better than before.
Yes.
I mean, he's doing what we asked him to do, from what I could see.
Yeah, I mean, we're both happy, so I think we're just going to do it for another year.
All right, so that takes care of the business. Let's go around and we will have commissioner comments. We'll start with Ruth. You have anything exciting to tell us?
Just good job. I'm real pleased with everything you're doing.
Oh,
Nothing at this time?
Miss Ruth?
No, I mean, you've had a busy week. I think it's nice from my business standpoint that I've actually seen the Enduro, all the things we've done. It's nice at my restaurant to see the feedback. It's like a little extra bonus for me as a commissioner to ask customers, and it's nice to hear the feedback about the park, the employees, the events. It's been great. So good to know.
I have nothing at this time.
I've got a couple things.
All right. Yeah.
Number one, I'd just like to say a real big special thanks to several people who have made it possible for the Bee City USA to get new signs on the city limits. A lot of people
Just saw that.
may or may not be aware, but the Bee City USA project, which has been with us since 2016, is actually affiliated with Parks Commission. We don't really have a whole lot, interchange with Parks, but officially, as far as City Council, they set us up with Parks Commission. And the signs that we've had since 2017 have really gotten pretty dilapidated, and we're kind of meant to be sort of a stopgap sign to begin with. It wasn't really a highway type sign. So, but I'd like to say a real special thanks to Simon Wiley, who helped put that all together, and also Ben Kirkwood with District 9 of the Arkansas Department of Transportation was very helpful. Even though we did have to go back and forth quite a few times, we did finally make it happen, and appreciate his help. And also Sam Dudley, who was very instrumental in keeping that ball rolling for us, and so that we didn't
say one thing.
Yeah.
Tamper-proof nuts are like the worst thing that's ever happened in the existence of anything. Me and Noah are up there on Highway 62 West with a ladder on a rickety sign trying to take these nuts off so we can change the sign out, and it's like they're cone-shaped. You can't grab them with anything. Oh, my gosh. Anyway, we got it done.
Highway Department.
What's that?
That's Highway Department.
I guess they're worried about someone stealing those things,
Which they might.
Anyway, just wanted to say that.
Yeah. But yeah, they look great, I think. They really stand out a lot better than the old signs did. So huge thanks for that. And also a couple weekends ago, we did have the Eureka Springs Soccer Club did host the Jamboree. It's not really a Jamboree, it's a soccer jamboree hosted by our local soccer club. And it's interesting because you get people from all over coming in, and plus the local soccer club here has anywhere from about 80 to 110 kids who come out in the spring and also in the fall for the 2 soccer seasons that we host. And you multiply that times about 6 different schools or 6 different communities, basically, from Harrison, Huntsville, Berryville, Bergman, Blue Eye, and Eureka Springs. You got almost 500 kids coming out to play soccer on a Saturday, and it's pretty fun. It's pretty wild and woolly, but between Shreya and the coaches, they really have got that down to not quite a science, but it's got it down to a pretty neat procedure, and the kids just have a lot of fun, and it's right up there with, I think, with the quality of what Harrison puts together, Eureka Springs puts together here. And anyway, I just wanted to say that, what's happening out at the ball fields is really pretty cool. And what the kids are getting out of it and what the community is putting into it. I think it's a great investment to see that happen out there. And I think it does point also to the fact that we may need to begin to start looking at growth and, how the ball fields are fulfilling the needs of the community. Whereas for a soccer field, for a walking track, dogs being out there, it all tries to happen in kind of a smaller area. And it's been a few years now since, much has been done out there. And it may be time to look at a phase 2. Nobody wants to talk about money, but we do, I think, are starting to look at a need, a growing need in the community as we continue to grow. So I just wanted to put that out there as is a great success again, and let's do it again next year.
Yeah, thank you, Shreya, and all the other coaches.
Yeah, indeed.
Shreya's so much energy.
A lot of volunteer energy out there. So thanks to everybody.
And not to make it all about me, but I want to add this to what I said a minute ago. If it matters to anybody, things like the soccer event, it's really easy to see those people when they come in my restaurant. It brings people. They don't just stay at Lake Leatherwood at the ball field. They come in, I don't know how much they go shopping downtown, but they may eventually, excuse me, but they do come to the restaurant.
Yeah.
See them a lot, so it's good
Sure.
to know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, I mean, that is a really good point. I mean, I think it's a good thing to be thinking, always be thinking, even like as we do the bathhouse, it's not just so we have, I mean, it makes it more marketable, makes a place where people want to come camping, which is what we want to see. The more people you have there, the more buzz there is about it. The more buzz there is, the more people want to be there. So it's not, there's always a method to the madness. A lot of times it does bring people. So good. All right. Is that everybody? Then do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion from Ruth, second from Ken. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes 5-0. Let's go home and get out of the rain.